Da-da, da-da. That's nice and fancy Wency, wasn't it?
Indeed.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much, Mirantha. A pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you. So my name's Mirantha O'Rourke, for those that will be present perhaps, and then in the replay. My private page is, or group is Divine Heart Allegiance. You're more than welcome. Come and friend request, follow, etc. Please share us out today as we get started. And I just want to welcome in the magnificent Jordon Richards. Are you frozen, Elsa? I can't see or hear you. Hello. I can't, you're frozen. While he's freezing, I will read out some information. We'll let him know. Good old internet. We can't hear or see you, Richards. If you want to go out and come back in, you may. I will get started. Yep. So, but while we're waiting for him, let me introduce today's episode on Beyond the Stars podcast. So welcome to everyone. We appreciate you being here. Like again, please share us out, put us everywhere. And I just want to say thank you for coming. And this is a wonderful opportunity to meet someone new on my podcast. I haven't done one for a couple of weeks. So tonight what we're going to do is we're opening a sacred space, and it's not just to listen, but it's to truly feel, to explore what it means to awaken, to heal, and to live as a multidimensional being of light in this human world. Our guest this evening, when he returns, our guest is, there he is. Ready, spaghetti, hello. We'll give it another go. I'm just reading out your intro while I was waiting. Can you hear me okay? Yep.
I am now, and I don't know what was going on there. I've just literally booted me out of the studio.
Oh, did it? Yeah, it's a bit in and out. We'll go with the flow. It can happen. We've got to think on our feet. All right. So I've just explained to people a little bit who you are.
Yeah. Go on.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So our guest this evening is the remarkable man whose life bridges and many rounds. He is an evidential medium, SPTV UK presenter, galactic channeler, quantum alignment coach and healer, and fast track activator. He's also a quantum human design specialist, Hay House certified moonologist and angel guide and tarot reader, and many other things which we will get you to explain, of course. And he guides many thousands through transformation and accelerated remembrance. Through his Arcturian dimensional healing, Reiki, Sekhmet, and Holy Fire codes, rune reading, and galactic activations of the starseed DNA, he helps souls awaken their highest timelines and embody the light. Jordon's journey is a testament to what happens when we embrace our gifts and start living them. So tonight we welcome Jordon Richards. It was all right, wasn't it?
That was good. Thank you very much.
Apologies.
Apologies. No. I was actually on my Wi-Fi, so what I've done, just because obviously the technical issue, I've just actually hardwired it and put it on the Ethernet, so it just literally gives me a pure channel, just so we don't have.
Yeah, you shouldn't get any interruptions.
It may be at my end, so yeah.
Yeah,
so
we'll blame you because it was your side, not mine.
That's fine.
So welcome, Jordon. I know, right? We're not here to behave ourselves. That's impossible.
No, absolutely not. We're here to have
we are
fun.
children of the light, remember? Okay.
Absolutely.
So Jordan's in the UK. I'm in Australia. We won't hold that against him. Because I do have English bloodline, so you're okay. I have English family, so we're lucky. So I thought what we might do is we generally, when I have people on, I like them to go through many different aspects of who they are, why they're here, their life stories, and then maybe a little deeper if they wish to. And at the end of it, we get you to do something personal, whether you want to read me and give a little message or message for the collective or whatever it is you feel drawn to or your team would like to do, you're open to do so. So we might begin by, if you can just tell us a little bit about who you are, a little bit more about what you do than what I have written, and even a little bit about perhaps your journey a little bit from, even if you want to go into childhood right up to now, if you feel like that. So that we just get an idea of who you actually are and what you do. Like, how did you get to where you are today? Because you have a lot of experience on many levels, right? Boy goes beyond the stars. And it's fascinating. And a lot of people love to know a little bit more deeply about people's stories that are as gifted as you are, because there are many people that are in your field. There's many people that are gifted, but then there's people like yourself that just go a little further and a little deeper in their abilities, and they're more multidimensional in their gifts. So if you'd like to just open the floor by giving us a little idea about yourself, that'll be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Oh, right. Okay. So I am 51 in human age at the moment.
How old?
Yeah, 51 in human age, but a lot older than that, obviously, as we have a multi-dimensional experience. My first experience of, the world of spirit, etc., was when I was 3 years old. So I take you back to 1977, when my grandfather passed away on my mum's side. And I saw my grandfather in the hallway, didn't obviously know about the other side, really. And my grandfather said to me, don't be silly, he's lying and he's coughing in the living room, because that's how it used to be done.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Gran kind of said, oh, you're the one that's got the gift in the family. So that was my very first experience. I've dipped in and out.
Did you see him like clearly at that age? How clear we?
Like literally fully formed, full manifestation, as we would refer to it these days. So Gran kind of took me a bit more under her wing with regards to
Mhm.
that side of things. I've been through a lot in my life, to be
Yeah.
fair, as
Yeah.
we all do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had parents who were both profoundly deaf. So
Oh, okay.
living in a hearing world from my existence, but living in a very much a deaf world from my
Yeah.
parental experience. So
Mhm.
I've always been able to kind of tune in between the two worlds. I
Yeah.
feel
Right.
that that's been like a inherited gift. Fast forward kind of
Mm.
many years into kind of my teens and what have you. I've had
Mhm.
multiple experiences of seeing spirit, knowing that there's something beyond. Um, Very much kind of like into the sort of sci-fi geeky side of things, which is kind of
Oh, okay.
you
Yep.
know
Nice.
the
Mhm.
galactic side when I was
Yeah.
very
Right.
very young.
Wow.
From that aspect, moving into kind of like modern day, I would say, um,
Mhm.
is I've kind of like dipped in and out of my spirituality, as we all do.
Have you? Yeah. Sure.
But fast forward, kind of what it must be 15 years or thereabouts now.
Mhm.
Um, there was huge changes in my life.
Mm.
I wanted more. Started going into kind of like the spiritual side of things,
Mhm.
exploring a little bit more of my multi-dimensionality and inherent being.
Yep.
Um, then I kind of like changed. I kind of walked away from it. My mum was very poorly with
Mhm.
a lifelong illness. Sadly, she's no longer with us, but she's in a
Right.
much better place and always around me. Um,
Yep.
so that was nearly 6 years ago
Okay.
that she passed. So kind of stepped back, obviously, to help her along with family and
Yep.
what have you. It's probably
Yep.
been in the last 4 or 5 years when I actually worked for Carnival Cruises in America.
You're
Um,
right. Yep.
and I had a vision at the staff quarters side of the bow of the ship in the Gulf
Mhm.
of Mexico, where
Right.
all of my
Of all
spiritual
places, funny that. Yeah. The hub
Uh,
of.
all, yeah, all of my spiritual team came around me. This was like
Wow.
3 a.m., you know,
Yep.
American time. Um, and it was like, you're not going to be signing your new contract. You're coming to work for us
Really?
full time.
Oh.
I'm
Oh,
like,
true. They laid it
okay,
down. Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Like, how's this
Yeah.
going to work? Came back to the
Yeah.
UK.
Exactly.
Obviously worked in HR, all that sort of stuff, and then having to make
Yep.
that transition from HR to kind of like going back into a full spiritual business. So some of the
Mhm.
qualifications that you've said, right, how do I actually go about this? I kind of started with the tarot, the runes, all that sort of stuff, really kind of
Yep.
like looking at the fundamentals of kind of pushing your frequencies up and gaining the knowledge really to help people.
Yeah.
So that's
Exactly.
kind of like more the psychic side. But then as
Yep.
we kind of move into that vibration, other things start happening. The
Okay.
multidimensional side kept on coming in. Arcturian healing kept on coming in. So it
Right.
was this multidimensional, multi-layered, opportunities presenting itself. So yeah, I mean,
So when
I,
you say they
I, I,
when you say they
I
came to you, like
yeah.
when you say they came to you before that part, how did they come? Was it something, did they physically come to you and take you somewhere? Did they just come and have a conversation? Because it's
So
varied for people.
yes. So what I would say to you is there was a few experiences that kind of led up to that. I was very much
Right.
aware of a new energy first of all, and I
Mhm.
was kind of like asking, who are you, etc. And it was
Yep.
like, um, nothing to be afraid of kind of thing because it
Yeah,
was a bit of
exactly.
like very high frequency, and I was a bit like, oh, what's this?
Yeah. Well,
Um,
some people can get a bit jittery on that energy. They can it
yeah,
depends on where you're at yourself emotionally, whether you get it as an anxiety jitter or you can handle that frequency. So,
absolutely.
yeah,
And
that's
I
why I'm
resonate
asking. Mm.
I resonate with that because when it first came in, I was a bit like, "Oh, what's this?" There was a little
Yep,
bit of apprehension, and
yep.
then they came in again just to kind of like calibrate the frequencies, as I would say it now,
Mhm.
and then from there. it was a case of I would hear them.
Yep.
I'd get like snaps of electricity and things like that to let them know,
Wow.
to let
Okay.
me know that they were here. You know, and it wasn't just a case of they were kind of like, you know, a little bit further out, because I would sense
Right.
the energy and what have you. But then as they were
Yep.
coming closer, I'd hear the snaps and all the rest of it as they're kind of popping in,
Okay.
and I'm like, right, okay.
Yep.
Then it was like more of a kind of like the not infiltration, you know, where they like give you the impressions and stuff like that,
Yes.
and
Yes.
like they were giving me like signs within my dreams and things like that, and we're like, we're
Okay.
coming,
Yep.
we're going to show you,
Yep.
etc. And then
So they're
kind of
fairly
fast forward,
gentle, really. That's kind of
yeah, yeah,
gentle in a way, because the
yeah,
dreams you can
yeah,
handle a little easier. Yeah.
very
Exactly.
gentle. And that kind of goes
Mm.
into like the trance mediumship that I do as well,
Okay.
because when you kind of sit in the evidential medium and you go into the trance, there's,
Mhm.
you know, it's a transition, isn't it? And, you know, allowing somebody to talk through you is
Yeah,
a
that's
very,
different
very different vibration.
for sure.
And it's the same as a galactic channel. You need to become
Yep.
comfortable with it. So they
Yep.
were like really taking their time, because I'm like, I'm not ready to do this.
Yeah, like, that's all at once. Like, "Hello, can I have at least have 3, 4 more days? What's going on?" You know, like, they can be like
Yeah,
that, though. They're
like,
like, they don't
no,
know
no,
time, so they just go, "We'd like that done this afternoon." I'm like, "Okay, hang on.
yeah.
Give me a
There
moment to
was like,
breathe." Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
there was an experience of like one of them wanting to come forward and like just really
Okay.
just like, you know, full
It's
pelt,
happening.
come straight in,
Yep.
and and I'm like,
Wow.
I can't cope with that. It needs to be
Yep.
gentler. So that's why they
Yep.
took the approach that they did.
Yep.
And
And who
I
were
would
the
say,
first that did that? Who did they send as your preparers? Like, what race was that came in for you?
so the first race that came forward was my Palladian child guide, which
Yep.
links to my
Okay.
trans team. So they were
Yep.
he was the first one that kind of, I
Nice.
was very much aware who I seen
Yep.
visually, and it was like,
Yep.
I'm going to be bringing in other frequencies, etc. And then it was
Mhm.
the Arcturians, the Syrians, and so on, and that's obviously expanded
Okay. Wow.
quite extensively.
Yeah, the more comfortable you get with it of what you're seeing, the more they'll come through. Because
Yes,
I mean, for anyone, I don't know about you, but for myself, it was like, "Oh, yes, please." There was no fear or barrier. My heart was searching, my heart wanted, that desire was there. That was the same thing. The next step is that desire that removes the fear. That's what I
yeah,
found when it started,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I mean, at first, I mean, obviously, as I've just said, there was this like, you know, a little bit of, okay, I want this, but you
Yeah.
need to take a little bit of a softer approach for me to get
Yeah,
there.
that's right. That's
And
right.
as soon as I like, you know, embraced it and thought, right, okay,
Yeah.
we're ready, let's go.
Yep. Yep.
It was just, you know, the door swung
Full on.
straight open. Yeah.
Wow. Goodness.
So,
Did you find, going back to your childhood, and you're talking about your parents being both deaf. Now,
mhm.
do you feel that that was a purposeful bonus, a positive, for the fact that their quietness within the home, their stillness, helped you to perhaps get to the stage you're at now, where they eventually came to you? Because you've got to have a quiet stillness within you to even have contact, you know what I mean, in a way. Do you find that
Yeah.
that may have been a bonus? Yeah.
I definitely didn't recognize it as a
Yep.
bonus or a
Yep.
benefit when I was
Yep.
younger, but
Yep.
obviously, you know, being older, etc., I definitely see the connection between
For
it
sure.
when I was younger now, looking back,
Yep.
because it is that kind of, oh, right, okay, they're so quiet, and
Yeah,
I had to kind
exactly.
of like speak up in the physical world
Yep.
in order to get their attention, or actually go and
Yep.
touch my mum to get her
Yep.
attention, etc.
Yep.
So 100%, you do need to be very, very kind of like, you know,
Yep.
um,
Very
uh,
still within.
still and
Yep.
together,
Yep.
before
Exactly.
obviously, you know, they start
Yep.
moving forward.
Yeah.
So
And that helps with the positive contact. So,
yes,
your emotions have to be in harmony to have the positive contact, so that you
yeah,
don't make any mistakes with what you're connecting to and things like that. So
yeah,
I make it very clear. Emotions are important, stillness is important.
yeah.
So
And I've had
mm,
experiences with regards to obviously, you know, some of the things that I do privately in a group,
yep.
and externally, where there was somebody who very much wanted this, but
Yeah.
at the time where they were, there was this sort of like, ebb and flow of, very fast energy, and they couldn't kind of calibrate it, all the rest of it. And
Yep.
then
Right.
they didn't have like the best experience. They had like a grey come in,
Yep.
and I'm not saying the grey was, there in any way.
There's different levels. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. But
there's good and
generally,
bad in
it's the ones they don't want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's good and bad
Yeah.
and everything. And she got a bit
Yep.
freaked out, the fact that she had a grey,
Okay.
and that's fine. We can
It
sort
is.
it.
Yep.
She reached out,
Yep.
but myself and a few others kind of collectively obviously did what we needed to do and just took
Yep.
that away from her, because that was a test for her as far as we are
Yeah.
concerned. And
Exactly.
as she's, recalibrated her energy, opened
Yep.
herself up more into the
Yep.
stillness, as we were talking about,
Yep.
she's like well away on her track now. She's
Yeah.
one of these people
Exactly.
that are being fast tracked,
Yep.
for what's to come.
Nice.
So yeah,
Yep. Yeah,
everything
it's very
happened for
important is your state of mind. You
yeah,
know, and
100%.
eventually the good thing about it is that state of mind gets you into your soul energy. So it's the soul that takes care of you when you do this sort of stuff, because the soul
Yeah,
is fearless, you know what I mean, per se. So,
100%.
mm, okay. So, but are you mostly known as an evidential medium? Is that maybe your strongest ability, or do you think other things are?
I would say that, up until recently, I'm
Mhm.
probably known more as a medium and more as a coach,
Yep. Okay.
along those lines, because that's kind of
Mhm.
how I started and, pushed
Exactly.
myself
Yep.
forward. And it's only in the last maybe 18 months or so,
Mhm.
that I really kind of like embraced kind of the galactic side, the channeling, the
Okay.
multidimensional healing came in about 2 years ago, and
Yep.
obviously that's
Yep.
accelerated quite a lot since then.
Mhm.
So yeah, things are changing and they're changing fast.
Yep. Right.
Um, I love my
Obviously,
mediumship.
you're obviously in need for them to be tracking you so quickly. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they are
Um,
bringing people in quicker for sure.
Yes, they definitely
Like
are. I
they're
don't
like
think I've
Jordan. We don't have time for you to have a cup of tea and biscuits, brother. You know, we got work to do.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, I think, working with obviously somebody that you know and a few other people will definitely know is David Starr.
Yep. Mhm.
I took a jump at the end of last year to do the discovery call with him, to do
Yep.
embodiment.
Yep.
And from that, it's just been a fantastic journey so far. You know,
Well,
from my
what
point.
it does, what I found it did for me, which is probably what it's doing for you, is it gave you a sense of peace in knowing who you are. You're
Yeah,
surrounded by people that understand you, and the sky's the limit, basically. So there's no barriers on what you share, what you do, who you are. It's almost you are literally your doors open. So
yeah,
you grow with those sort of people, you know what I mean, as well, not just by the learning, but by the people around you. That's what happened for me. Once I
no,
changed the environment I was in, you know, it was on. So I understand that
absolutely.
fully.
Um, and I would say anybody that wants to kind of like do, something similar or that course
Mm.
specifically, absolutely,
Yep.
just step into it. You will be,
Yep.
supported. You'll find a sense of collective tribe,
Absolutely.
uh,
Yep.
and sitting in the vibration, even if it's only an hour a week or whatever, with a collective in the right
That's
mindset.
exactly right.
The
Yep.
benefits of that individually and collectively are huge, and
Oh,
you
for
might
sure.
not
Changed my life.
know
So, yeah.
the
Yep.
wider, uh, you know, ripple
Yep.
effect of that.
No.
But
But you will
definitely,
eventually, trust me. What
yeah,
even you know, for me, put it this way, the first week or fortnight for me, it changed. I changed everything about who I was. The door was open. But that's because I felt the love and the trust of those that were there as well. So it's a tribe or a family that's forever, basically. And you sort of it's just nice to find each other in a safe place. You know what I mean? Because it is hard to find places to go that can help you evolve in a trusting way and safe way. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So many people who awaken their sensitivity, we were just talking about that, how they can feel overwhelmed, especially by like yourself, where it was just came in on you so rapidly and you were like, I'm not sure what to do with this. What would be your advice to them to help them just not only discover their own gifts, but adjust? What were your steps, or what did they teach you or show you when they came in to teach you how to adjust and flow till you got to the point where you are okay with it? Because there are people who
Yeah.
get the doorways thrown open a bit too fast. That can
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And I
unravel
mean,
them a little bit in the mind. Yeah.
I've just touched upon that, haven't I? I mean, if I hadn't have kind of asked them just to slow down a little bit
Yep.
first,
Yep.
it would have been like full like we're kicking the door in, here we go.
Yep.
And it is a bit too much for people if they're not at the right kind of, mindset, frequency, vibration, all that
Yep.
sort of stuff.
Did they take you anywhere in particular though? Like, because sometimes they'll take people to either a ship or a
Yeah.
place to help
So there
them
was
develop.
lots.
They'll actually take them out of
Yeah.
their body. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had multiple experiences where, outside of dream state. So like, going to
Yep.
bed, lying in bed, getting
OBE.
into that, just starting to drop into that altered state of
Yep.
consciousness. And
Yep.
literally they were at the bottom of the bed, and then I could see them like taking me kind of energetically off
Out of your
somewhere.
body.
I was putting
Yep.
into like a med bed for faster healing.
Yep.
And I was also taken to like a planet. I was also taken to like motherships, commanding
Yep.
ships, and all the rest of it. And it's
Yep.
like, just
Nice.
be here, be in the
Yep.
frequency. We're going to show you what you need to do because of
That's
where
right.
I am on my journey, what I encode in this
Yep.
lifetime, which is quite a bit.
Yeah. There's no holidays, right? You don't get holidays anymore, correct?
Yeah,
I don't get
like
holidays.
even when I'm like sat here, having this conversation with you, I'm kind of like
Yep.
here physically, but I'm also here
Yep.
energetically on another scale,
Exactly.
which is always interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
It's nice though, right? I always say to people, I can have a conversation with you, but I'm always somewhere else. That's just the way it is. My
Yeah.
energy, even if I'm not tuning in per se, my energy, you can feel the difference, the expansion, and the fact that your energy is on board or somewhere else. You know what I mean?
100%.
That's just how it is. You know what I mean? My husband says, things like, "Hello, are you here today?" No, not really. Just little things like that. So, all right. So maybe we go into your quantum healing side
Okay.
because there's healing and there's healing, but then there's quantum healing. That's a totally different thing. That's not earthbound energy. That is
Yes.
partially some of your energy, but it's not it's not here. So it's not like massaging and little things like that. This is literally going out past the void to wherever
Yeah.
that may be at that time and using what's out there. So that's a different type of teaching and also ability. So as a
Yeah.
coach, we'll put that aside for now. Bossy bum. No, I'm kidding. As a coach, what quantum healing? What is that really? Because not everyone will understand what that means.
So to kind of bring it down into the basics of it is obviously
Mhm.
you've got this scientific expansion as we experience it within the 3D.
Yep.
And we've got quantum mechanics and quantum physics and things like that.
Mhm.
We've also got the quantum aspect of what is within our bodies because
Mhm.
the 3D is very much, oh, well, you're made of muscle, bone, etc., blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah,
you're a bit
that's
like,
right.
well, no, you're actually not. You're actually made
No.
of carbon, oxygen, and
Mhm.
all these other components that come into it. So when
Exactly.
you think
Yep.
that the vastness of what is encoded within you, DNA, cellular, and so forth,
Mhm.
all of that
Yep.
comes from the universe. So when you
Exactly.
expand into, moving into the frequency of your quantum self, obviously, as you've said, you move beyond the void, and you go. It's almost like I would refer. I do it slightly different now that I'm a master in it. To be fair,
Yep.
I access the quantum realm, and then because obviously I sit in other modalities such as the Akashic, I'm like, okay, what is coming in for their highest good? What do I? So your client may come to you and say, well, actually, I'd like a DNA upgrade, my highest blueprint, etc. And that's something that we do. But actually, that is not what they need. It's what they want, but it's not what they need. Yeah. So
I always say to people, when you come to me, you're going to get what you need, not what you want. Just straight up.
So I kind of dip into the Akashic and go, right, okay, what is it they need? Right, okay. Then there's a universal conversation there. We pop into the quantum, and it's like, okay, they can have a bit of that at the moment, but it's not going to be a full integration for them because it's not what they need to be encoding other frequencies. There's like a deeper level of healing going on, and that can be, this life, past life, etc. And I literally, everything that I do, I sit intuitively within that container and allow my team to come forward. And I have multiple people on my team because of the modalities that I sit in. And I'm sure you're the same.
You'd be endless, for sure.
Yeah.
So is it sort of like, do you help people to understand? Is it sort of like, because that's what I'm getting, like you're a quantum jumper. So therefore, there's anywhere in the universe that you can grab a point or a node of and enter into that spot per se, to keep it simple, and possibly even take that person in there with you, and then you go from there. So it may even go beyond Akashic Records sometimes, does it? Or
Yeah.
because I feel like you're more than just in the Akashic Records.
So the Akashic Records, and we refer to the Akashic Records, as in where your soul contract is and everything else like that. But then if you're going beyond that, and there are a lot of terminologies out there, so we've got the normal Akashic, which is kind of like on the spirit level, okay?
It is.
But then we have the galactic Akashic, which is your multidimensional self, and that's where I go. The quantum healing.
Right.
Like, well, actually, they have this in their 3D, but where's the connection here? So Akashic, galactic Akashic, what is it they need? And then we fine tune that. There is quantum jumping within it. So that'll be jumping into a timeline and then going, oh, that needs to be weaved, remapped energetically. It needs to be healed. We can kind of strip that out energetically. We'd also be bringing in other things to help and assist them with regards to that healing. But ultimately, we're taking people into that altered state of consciousness to be able to access the quantum realm in that safe container with a facilitator and a practitioner such as myself. And what I would say is the client is the one that is in control. We're the ones that are creating the container. It's where your soul wants you to go, and we make that safe so that nothing is coming in that shouldn't be coming in. Because as we know, when you expand and you're not aware, you could be inviting in all sorts of different things
endless,
you're not aware of.
That's right.
So remember that
they're calling you Skywalker, because I can see you walking out there, and I'm like, I don't know if I've seen anybody do that before. That's impressive. Well done. It's kind of cool.
I do other things over and above the quantum healing. I do quantum activations and things like that. So that's a new thing that started coming in. I was doing that earlier on this year with the Starseed group privately, which is kind of how they wanted me to do it. It was very much about, all right, you're very much okay within a safe space personally. This is from my point of view. So a closed container, and then recently they've
Yep.
got me to start opening that up into a public. So I did one
Okay.
the other week.
Wow. Okay.
That's interesting. Where I'm
It would be.
going is like forward
Yep.
movement with that. But
Yep.
100%, some of the experiences that I've had, and from my client's point of view, they've turned around and said, "I can't believe that I came to you for, I'm not going to say what it was, but X, Y,
No.
Z,
Mhm.
in relation to why they wanted a healing, and then
Yep.
actually they've had the healing, and then within,
And now they're awakened. It's just like, whoops,
in that
sorry.
integration,
Yeah. Yeah.
in that integration
Wow.
space of up to
Yep.
21 days or thereabouts, depending on
Yep.
the client,
Yep.
they're like, "Oh my God, like, my
Everything is
whole
opening
life
up.
has changed." And
That's
I'm like,
right.
"That's because we've
Yeah.
done the energetic weaving on the quantum side to go, right, that needs
Yep.
to change here." And we
That's
fine
right.
tune that. That needs to
Yep.
go. So we let that go. And we're like
Yep.
literally energetically remapping you for your highest good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um,
Because they don't
and it,
understand how enwrapped they can be in what they've created. That isn't great. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's so I said the quantum side of it is that's a different level to healing than most people understand that of
yeah.
because you
I mean,
yourself are the
make it.
container. You created it. You're being created as this container to be able to enter anywhere
Yeah,
safely. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's your aspect. Your aspect is the growth that they need as well because of
yeah,
how you're connected and the light that you have. So yeah, it's fascinating.
yeah,
It's deep. I'm sure
yeah.
it goes deeper than that, but that's the easiest way to explain it, I think, in a
Yeah.
way. So
I think from that aspect of it on the quantum side with regards to the healing and the coaching and what have you,
yeah.
um, it's very much working with obviously David,
Mhm.
and then getting that confirmation of where I'm kind
Yep.
of going, and then
Yep.
also having those insights of kind of like, oh yeah, I remember
Yep.
that, and then him kind of
Yep.
going, this is what's coming through for you, etc.
Yep.
And making that connection, it's like literally like I'm being accelerated from
Oh, it
my
makes a
highest good,
huge
also
difference.
the benevolence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it
some of
gives
the
you a faith and trust, even though we have faith and trust for sure. Or you wouldn't, you have to have faith and trust, or you wouldn't have the ability you've got, right? But it
yeah,
deepens that
100%.
faith, it deepens that trust within you.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So,
yeah.
yeah, I
Find the
agree.
stillness, find the sense of trust, be
Yep.
patient, and then
Yes.
gently surrender is kind of the
Correct.
points that I would make to somebody.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
when
Yeah, the
you move
surrender is
in,
important.
when you move into that, things
Yeah.
happen very quickly.
They
Um,
can happen in that moment, actually. Well, they do
mhm,
anyway, but it's whether you're ready to receive it because it's not
yeah,
always gonna be how you think. Um, we're laughing quietly in the background. Okay. So, you're also a galactic channeler, which we've already talked about and things like that. When you communicate with all these star collectives, because obviously your team is very big to have the, abilities you have, it would be multidimensional on past galactic, of course. So as a galactic channel, and I do know that you work with Arcturian, so we talked about that and other star collectives. What is the what is the guidance that they've been giving you, especially this year, for humanity itself? Is there anything that they've shown you or told you for the collective that would be important? Are they teaching you anything for the coming years ahead to be prepared for, do you think? Even if it's just personally.
they're definitely doing it on a personal level.
Mhm.
I would say on a collective level, it's very much about people um, getting back into, for want of a better way of putting this, I'm going to refer to the times of COVID, where the
Mhm.
world vibration shifted, and
Yep.
it was very much individually and collectively.
Yep.
We had more time on our
Yep.
hands. There was a full reset, for want of a better way of putting it. And
Mhm.
slowly we're starting to go back to what was before. Some people
Yep.
more so than others, and this is
Yep.
where they want people to focus. They want people to focus on self, And remember that self is not about being selfish, it's selflessness. So, it's recalibrating yourself in order to kind of be able to bring in that silence and everything that we've just spoke about in order for you to personally move into the relevant vibrations and frequencies. But the big thing that they keep mentioning, and I'll give you this, this came through in a channel not so long ago, is they keep mentioning think of yourself as an iceberg, basically. Okay, and I think they gave me this because obviously my human resources background.
They can be funny though. Some of the busy Palladians, they've got a sense of humour. They've got to work with us.
Absolutely, hilarious. And they keep mentioning that what you know about yourself is very much the tip of the iceberg.
Correct. Yeah.
But once you go deeper and you sit in a certain frequency vibration and you actually start to do the work, going into the silence is obviously the very first point, etc. Being more present. The iceberg that is not seen under the water, which is the 90%, is actually melting away. The frequencies and everything else on a very much kind of like universal scale is allowing the unseen iceberg, which is under the water, to start to melt away. So, and they referred that to obviously what's happening in the Antarctic, etc., and the Arctic, and they're like, see the synchronicity of that. This is what's happening to the human race. You have everything that you need within, but it's whether you want to go within in order to literally ignite the spark and then let that come forward.
And it is a great revealing, like personally, it's planetary and personally, it's a great revealing. And people aren't sure what the great revealing is. They feel, is it contact? Are they coming? What's really happening? But it got to start with us first, because otherwise they can't meet our perceptions. They can't come physically until
100%.
such time as we let go a little and stop battling not only our own selves, but everything around us. You know what I mean?
And that's the key to starting this journey, is basically going into the silent, becoming more present, and just allowing the shift to happen slowly and as it should be for you individually. But then obviously if you then are working in a collective or a tribe and you've got that sense of community, that will help you shift in a very, very big way and very quickly, because you're sitting in that higher frequency all the time. So there's work constantly being done in order to kind of propel you forward.
Well, you're always working with each other to better each other.
Yes.
That's your goal. Your goal should be, if you're going to come together as a tribe, is to better each other, not to compete, but better. So you want everyone around you to go as far as they possibly can and be happy with that and find the peace and love with that. That should be what a tribe is. A tribe is it's unity, but it's also unity in a way where each one of you wants better for each other, whatever that may be.
100%. You know what I mean? And I very much sit in that vibration on my own personal self and collectively. Judgment is a human vibration.
It is.
It doesn't do anything for you. And what I would say to you, we're all here individually to do what we need to do. And yes, somebody that is very new, for example, and this is happening a lot for a lot of people, that they are just awakening, but they are being propelled so quickly and fast-tracked forward that people that are already been on their path for 2 years, 20 years or whatever are like, why are they where they are now and I'm still here? Well, their path is very different to this person's path. They haven't taken on board the signs that were given to them earlier on in their life, which is why they're being fast-tracked, because they're needed now.
That's right.
So there's that within it as well. But
don't be envious of that, because they're going to probably do it a little harder. You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. And we've please just try not sit in judgment or whatever. Embrace your fellow man and woman, etc., and just say, do you know what? I'm so pleased for you that you're being, you're stepping into more of your truth and becoming who you are on a universal level. Because as soon as you start changing that attitude and that frequency, you will be propelled forward as well. Whereas if actually you sit in judgment, you're doing yourself the discredit, and you're actually propelling yourself backwards. And that's a mental shift, and it can be very, very difficult for people. But
it can. But the thing is, I sort of say to them, well, see them as your future, because if they're able to do some of what you'd like to do, then they are proof that it's possible. So reach for them, reach for what's possible. See them ahead of you as the future you can be. That's how you can release some of that judgment a little bit. Have the desire of going, you may not like what you see, but the thing is they're there because they're probably doing it really, really hard work to get there, especially emotionally. And I always say that I always see people that are further ahead even of myself, as that's where I would like to be. And if that's possible, that means that I'm on the right track.
Absolutely.
And I celebrate it. I celebrate my friends. I'm like, if they're there, then I know that that's possible. So they're the proof for me of the hard work I'm doing. You know what I mean? That it's worth it and things like that. So that's just how I see it.
And that just
And not everyone sees it like that, and that's okay. So
that just goes to show you where your mindset is. On an individual level, collectively. Never see anything as like, oh my goodness, it's that enviness, the judgment, and all the rest of it. Or just say, oh right, okay. So how did they embrace that? Spark up a conversation with that person, even if you might not be that kind of person. Just even if you're not like very vocal about it or whatever, just kind of like just gently nudge into their circle. Just
like
standing next to them.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like just standing next to them and getting some of their frequency through their auric field is going to help you shift as well.
Sure.
So remember
their
that.
joy is going to ignite your flame. I'm telling you now. Their joy of what they've achieved is what you need. That flame within them of their joy. Because they're so grateful, generally so grateful because of how long it took to get there and the mud they had to go through, that they are in a joyful state of gratitude. You know what I mean? So borrow. I always say to people, heaps of flames, help yourself. It's for everybody. You know what I mean? It's not just that belongs to that person, it's everybody's flame. So you've also got a website, and there's a couple of things I saw on there. They may be already what you've talked about, I'm not sure, but one of the things I saw is you're calling your website Temple of Aurelis. Is that correct? Is that how you say that?
Yeah, Temple of Aurelis.
Aurelis. How did you come about that name? Is there a purpose behind that for what that means, or?
So the Temple of Aurelis is obviously I'm Jordon Richards. I have my evidential mediumship page on Facebook. I also have my coaching page, which is obviously Phoenix on there. I have my normal page, and then Temple of Aurelis came about earlier on this year through the starseed work that I was doing privately, which I mentioned before. So that was actually like activating people, doing quantum energetics with them, getting them to step into their highest timeline, and so forth. And the Aurelis bit and the Temple of Aurelis has come around through working with David Starr, but also working obviously energetically with my team. And they're like, the temple that's referred to is an energetic space for quantum healing or multidimensional healing, and then the fast track activations. The Aurelis is a name that was given to me from my team, which is part of my harmonics, my hidden harmonic spiritual name. There's more to that name, but that is the first part of that name.
That's the first part?
Yeah, that's the first part.
So it's your magical sound of who you are.
Yes.
Come on, make it a bit fancy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's enough. Yeah, we'll get it. So, Also, I don't know if you want to talk about your moonology, your tarot, your Reiki. Most people are aware of those modalities, they understand what they are. They've been to many people that do those sort of things. Do you find that is that a tool for you? You said it got you started. Was that just something that started opening up your mind to the possibilities of what you can do? Or
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've
Yep.
been doing, tarot, oracle, etc. For decades.
Yep.
But when I moved into this, properly full time, so to speak, because my whole business
Hmm.
is spiritual, etc.
Yep.
So about 4 years ago, there or thereabouts, it was very much about okay, I can do this, but then for my own education and the way that I am, it was very
Hmm.
much let's do the course, let's get certified, because then people
Yep.
some people like people with certificates, other people don't.
Yeah. Well, it
Um,
makes them. Sometimes I find certification that they're more trusting. You know what I mean? They go,
yeah,
well, this person's put
that,
an effort
yeah,
into
and
this, and they've
that's a
established.
mind shift for people. So I
It
started with
is.
that,
Yeah.
and I think
Yep.
the reason why I started with that really is because my background is very, very kind of like accredited, you know,
Okay. Yep.
um, with regards to being a HR professional, having chartered
Hmm.
status, and all these
Yep.
kind of like letters after your name and stuff like that. So
Yep. Yep.
that is very much the reason why I took that path. I would say to
Okay.
you, um, regardless of whether you take that path or not, um, just go to a trusted source and a teacher.
Yeah.
Feel the resonance
Yep.
of that. That's what's
Hmm.
important. Um,
Yeah, it is.
you'll find the right teacher, etc. And just play around with it. Have fun with it. Don't take it
Yeah,
so
that's right.
serious. There's a lot of people that
Yeah,
jump into
exactly.
it very, very serious, and it's like, no,
Hmm.
just let that go and
Let it
just have
flow a
fun.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's how
yeah,
it is with. I mean, you put a lot of effort into what you're learning, but the thing is, the bottom line is, and even galactics talk about it, and they have it that if the joy isn't with it, or then the end result won't be as great. So the
yes,
information may not be as deep. You know what I mean? You've got to have it. You've got to have a joyful heart to work in any of
yes.
this sort of field. I feel, no matter how serious you get with the study and
Oh,
the
100%.
modality part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
it has to have a joy, and that brings people in. Again, it's the same sort of thing I taught before. It brings people into the place where they see how much you desire, how joyful you are, and how much of a difference is made in your life. That draws people to you. You know what I mean? So, and do you teach all this as well, or do you
yeah.
teach other people to do that as well? Yep.
Yep. So anything that I've pretty much done as part of
Yep.
my path, it is
Okay.
very much a case of okay, I have to teach that as well. So I teach
Yeah.
mediumship at different levels.
Okay. Yep.
I teach oracle cards, tarot, runes, and
Yep.
so forth.
Okay.
Obviously, being a quantum master, which was
Yep.
quite a new thing earlier
Yep.
on this year. I think I certified as a master. When was it? So I had to teach. I actually had to teach level 1, 2 quantum to get master level 1 and 2.
Oh, you had to
So I
teach
taught.
first. Okay. Yep.
So you can do so if you're starting the quantum journey as a healer, you
Mhm.
level 1 is pretty basic. It's a
Yep.
very straightforward process for people. Level 2
Mhm.
is bringing in very much different modalities within the
Okay.
quantum field. So you're looking at
Yep.
highest blueprint,
Mhm.
encoding everything within your DNA blueprint.
Right.
We're looking into kind of like um, regression through all of your past lives. It's
Oh,
very much
okay.
bigger
Yep.
space. But level
Is
1 is
that
very
hypnotherapy as well? Because there was
yeah,
some
yeah.
other things that I didn't write down that you do. What was the other stuff that's relevant to that?
So the hypnotherapy is the altered state of consciousness within the quantum
Okay.
healing.
Yep.
So it's you're providing that container, aren't you? And you're shifting somebody energetically to go into that
Right.
space to open up, be slightly more susceptible to what's coming
Mhm.
in and what needs to be released. And
Yeah.
it's normally people come to you through quantum healing because they're
Mhm.
struggling to remove something energetically, and they need
Right.
somebody like myself or
Yep.
yourself or whatever
Yep.
modality we send. who's got that experience to be able to just go straight in and go and take it
and
out
pull
and
it out.
bring it something else. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because sorry about that. Because I do remember. I thought wasn't there was something else in there that was relevant to that as well that I hadn't written down. So.
Okay.
The other thing is too is that as a teacher and a coach, one of the first steps for people, besides obviously healing, facing, releasing, regressing, all that sort of stuff, is most people want to know how do they connect to their higher self. That's probably the first thing that people, besides wanting to know where they come from, who are they connected to, who their teams are, and things like that. They want to know who is the higher self, because you hear everyone talks about the higher self. So people are generally interested in what is the higher self? How do they connect to that? And how do you face that when you find your higher self? What do you do with it? And people go, well, I think I found my higher self, but I don't know what that means, and I don't know what to do with that and how I connect. So for people that want to start there, because that's quite often the basic question that they will begin with, how would you lead them into doing so? Just, roughly, how would you do that?
I have a certain process that I use in quite a lot of my teachings, because obviously I want people to be able to get to that level in whatever container it is. And it's ultimately we're shifting fundamentally somebody's mindset of where the limitation is there. So, you use the terminology there. Oh, well, I think I connected with my higher self. Well, thinking and knowing are two very different things. So we need to shift that energetically. Once somebody's obviously fully opened up in relation to all of the chakras, expanded their pillar of light, etc., and then we go beyond the crown chakra, we're going into the soul star and so forth. You would be asking those relevant questions internally and what have you, energetically, for that frequency to come in, so that you know that your higher self is there. There's something specifically that I actually do. I'm quite happy to share it. And it works on a guide level and all your team level. Is envision yourself like standing on a clock face. So the clock is on the ground. You're stood in the center of the clock, where the hands would be moving around. Vision yourself there, and then just literally go to like 1, 2 o'clock, go around the clock and ask the relevant people on your team to come in. But if you need to start with your higher self, get your higher self to step in at 1. Recognize the frequency as it changes, but don't just go, oh, okay, I've got my higher self because that's a frequency. It might not be. Remember that there's other things such as universal law. You need to be double checking with regards to is that frequency of the light, and it might not be, guys. But
they can be very, very tricky.
You just might need to just double check, okay, and go, right, okay, please step into my awareness. Okay, now step back. Are you my higher self? You get a yes. You get a yes twice. Universal law is 3 times, obviously. And you might get a no. But then whatever that is will disappear and your higher self will come forward, because there's obviously some energetic distortion there that's blocking your higher self coming in. And that would be, just a lower, denser frequency as far as I'm concerned. It's not, voodoo or whatever it is. There's a lot of talk about all that sort of stuff. It's not. Everything is energy. So look at it as in it's just a denser energy block that is stopping you from actually connecting to your truest, highest potential, which is your higher self.
And it could be an aspect of yourself that is dense as well. Like it could be just, this is the thing, you don't judge these things. It's the judgment that gets you in trouble. You know what I mean?
Well, that's an interesting point you've just made there, Mirantha, because I sit in a slightly different mind shift and set in relation to a few people with regards to guides. Energy-wise, it's everything. There's no time, etc. We experience it linear because we're humans, etc. But what I would say to you is, okay, you have a guide coming forward, okay, or you see yourself, you see your higher self as a specific, imagery or whatever.
Yep.
Let's just shift that to your guides. Your guide is an aspect of you across some sort of multi-dimensional timeline. Because people like to go, oh, well, my guide's such and such, and give them a name. Oh, I'm working
Yep.
with, one of the gods, or I'm working with a deity and all the rest of it. The reason why that happens is because it's to help you shift your human perception and mind shift into the energetics of the higher frequencies so that you can go galactic, you can bring in the higher frequencies, etc. But everything that you see on that level, whether it be 4D, 5D and above, they're all aspects of you.
That's right.
That's my take on it. I know that that's true for me. I'm not saying that people should believe that or whatever. Go with what innately is calling from within. I've seen myself as a Surian. I've seen myself as an Arcturian. That's how they come in me energetically. And there's other people that obviously have worked with me and they've turned and said, oh my goodness, I've just literally seen the overshadowing of your Surian self show themselves to me. And I'm like, oh, you were obviously meant to see that.
That's right.
Because
exactly.
not everybody sees it.
That's right. No, correct.
So let's just go back to the clock thing, okay?
Yep. But
calling in, your higher self on number one. Yeah, just using that universal law. That is probably, in my opinion, the fastest and easiest way for somebody to actually genuinely connect. It's almost immediate for most people. I would also say to you with regards to obviously the other energies, whether you want to call them your guides, your higher aspects, etc., your angels, and you can call in loved ones that have passed over to spirit who are there around you that are lovingly supporting you in the work that you're doing, helping you on a daily basis through guidance, etc., and fill that clock. And work on that and constantly do it. I would say do it, a couple of times a week to start with. If you feel that you need to do it more, intuitively go with that, please. I do know that it works. That's one of the things that I use in a lot of my teachings. And people that haven't been able to connect with their guides, never seen their guides, and as soon as they do this, they are like, "Oh my goodness, I saw my guides."
People,
like
people sitting on the clock. Yeah, that's right.
All
that's a great idea.
Somebody to just give you another way of doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, well, the clock face is a good idea because they know what a clock face looks like, so they're automatically tuned into something that they've seen before.
But it also
helps immensely.
It gives you that kind of structure. Okay, number one's my higher self. Oh, number two's my mum that's in spirit. Number three's my angel. There's a structure and a discipline to that, and with everything that we do, it has to be structured, disciplined, and in reverence in relation to what you're calling in. And obviously the wider conversation of what we're talking about in relation to, being in that heart space, coherence, patience, surrender. And it really just, energetically being aligned, speaking your truth, but also emanating it silently through your
silently and peacefully. that is probably the word of the year, silently and peacefully. What
absolutely. Yeah, it definitely is a combination of that, isn't it, this year? Sit in the silence, remove yourself kind of like on the wider levels of what you're absorbing through the media, through friends, family. If something kind of gives you a little bit of a energetically, or even mentally, depending on where you are on your journey yourself, just okay, I'm aware of that. But I'm not stepping into that. I'm not embracing that energy. Just keep it out. And that is the biggest tip that I would say to people between now and January. Be very much aware of that. Where something is happening, and there's a lot of worldwide events, isn't there, going on?
Unfortunately, there is.
Yeah. But remember that this is, you know, a little bit of a tower moment in relation to the wider perception of what's to come in. Things must
Yes,
fall
they always
in
do.
order for that foundation to be rebuilt, in order for us to move into where we need to be. And
That's
there is
true.
going to be these big high peaks and low
Yeah.
ebbs.
Yeah,
Sadly, we've been experiencing it for quite a while.
we have.
But there's a new energy coming in, definitely. You've probably felt it this month. There's a
Hmm.
little bit of a lull in November for quite a few people.
Right.
But then we're kind of back up energetically into a higher
Yeah.
frequency,
Yeah.
round about kind of about a week or so before Christmas,
Hmm.
so it's like mid-December, um, and then there will be a little bit of a dip again, kind of January,
Yeah.
etc. But that'll only be for a matter of days, if at the
Yeah.
most a week, and then we're off again. And
Yeah.
that kind of links into the numerology of next year, which is a 1 year
Righto.
instead of a 9.
A 1 year. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, emotionally, if there's any advice, like seriously, through all this, because it'll go on for a little longer as well. So
yeah.
I say to people, be careful of the rabbit holes, the conspiracies, and your
Mhm.
emotional attachment to those things. Because people are saying they're struggling emotionally, they're struggling with how they're feeling, they're struggling with lots of things, gifts and things like that. That's because they're allowing their emotional attachment into the world that is not serving them well. It's dragging them out of themselves, it's pulling them out of their center, and they're not looking after them. They're looking too far outward on a lot of things that I don't even wanna go into because there's a lot of that going on at the moment. I don't go into it. It's pulling you out of your center. It's a distraction that's creating the
Yeah.
emotional roller coaster. And an emotional roller coaster it can create a disconnection because you're not
Oh,
looking after you.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So, yep.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that at the moment.
Anything
So,
with huge energetic highs and huge energetic lows, whether that's on an emotional scale or any other
mhm.
energetic scale,
Yep.
um, I'd actually say on a mental scale for a lot of people that is a bit of a
Yep.
struggle.
It
Um,
is. Yep.
100% try, even if it's only for a couple of minutes a day, just do a
Mm.
little bit of a breath technique and try
Yep.
and go within, and get that alignment starting to
Yep.
come in. And
Do
you will
something for
see,
yourself.
yeah, you'll
Absolutely.
see a shift
Yep.
because we're very
Yep.
much as humans. It's all it's all external,
It is. It
because
is
of
constant.
how
Yep.
the conditioning is, what we
Mhm.
read, and the wider knowledge of the world, school,
Yeah.
family, and
Yeah.
we don't know any different because everything's been hidden for thousands of years.
Yeah,
Um,
well, it's coming
so
out so rapidly that a lot of people are not able to adjust to that emotionally. So the roller coaster is real for them, and it's just gonna take them time to understand. Pull away from it, stop talking about it, stop getting together over it, walk away. If you want stillness and peace, you've gotta be the one who's responsible for that. So,
yeah,
but we're so used to chaos. It has been our way for so damn long. It's sad, but
one
it's
hundred.
true.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, we're nearly coming to the end, so dear Jordan, no, I'm kidding. Every guest can I borrow 50? No, I'm kidding. Okay. I get every guest at the end of the podcast to do
yeah,
something. So they get a choice of either doing something for myself, quickly message or read or whatever, or you can choose to do something else for those that are watching in the collective and the replay. Or there's even just a message for humanity that you'd like to dig deep into and share with from you and yourself and your team. It's entirely up to you. It's always open. You get a choice. No, you don't. Yes, you do. And, that's usually I know, awful. That's usually it's kind of the way that not only people get to see how you do and what you do, what your abilities are, what are your gifts, they get to see it firsthand, real time. But it's also a nice way to offer it's like an offering at the end of it that
yeah,
I
yeah,
ask the guests
absolutely.
to give.
Yeah.
So you can
Um,
choose whatever you wish to do.
okay. All right. I'm just clarifying what they want me to do here.
Ask the boss, as I always say. Ask the boss.
Absolutely. Ask the higher multi-dimensional self.
Yeah.
Um,
The council of all
right.
councils.
Okay. Right. Okay. They're talking about they want to share more of a collective message in relation to kind of some of the topics that we've broadly touched upon, and there's
Yep.
ultimately they are saying that there is a need for people to kind of step back from their external life and go within, but they're also talking about setting pure intentions within the heart and the mind coherence of that in order to radiate the frequencies and actually bring in more light, but energetically allow the denser energies around the heart to fall, almost like they're giving me an image of like almost like a crustacean around the heart chakra for
Yep.
a lot of people. And
Yep.
this is they're referring it mainly to your wider audience here, but I know that this is like very collective as well. And they're saying to me, it's almost like think of sitting within. Oh right, okay, one sec. They're just going to slightly change that. So they're saying, think about how well you like your boiled egg. So if you like it a little bit soft in the middle, boil it for 5 minutes, crack the egg. The white's solid, but the inside is soft. You don't want to be sitting on the harder level of that. So it's about actually linking that in. And they're telling me that 5 to 7 minutes is an ideal time for most people to start kind of like moving into that peace, the calmness, and all the rest of it. But within that, they want me to say a lot of people just do the calm and the peace with regards to that. But what they actually need to do is once they feel that energy start to expand within the heart, as a quantum side of things on the healing, set the intention that you want to emotionally, mentally, physically, etc., release the energy of whatever it is that you're struggling with on personal level, collectively, on a daily basis, weekly basis, and so forth. This will help you change your vibration between now and what's coming in next year.
Right.
Okay. They're also saying that they want to. This is a collective called the Guardians, and they're turning around and saying there is a need for people to do this in order to help the irrelevant energies to come in and assist. It's very much a collective energy around that they are always wanting to assist for the highest good of humanity, because they want people to step into their multidimensional self. I feel like somebody wants me to go into trance, but I'm going to stop.
No. Oh, please. You got time to do that? I'd love to do that.
I'm going to get them to give me it kind of like more in flow, rather than me kind of go into an altered state.
Okay.
So it's very much around. They're wanting me to kind of say the collective that I've just referenced, the Guardians. They're turning around and saying that they want humanity to move quite quickly into the new vibrations, specifically before February next year is significant, and I kind of know why that is on a personal level, but I'll leave that bit there. And they're turning around and saying that energetically, it is about you not only doing the work individually, but you need to start finding, whether it's online, in person, the energetics of the frequency of the collective in order for us to move forward more significantly. Right, I'm just going to close my eyes a little minute because they want me to kind of like be a bit more subjective and surrender. Okay, we are always here helping and assisting humanity raise their individual vibrations in order to help the collective. But this is a wider perception of the human existence. you're also radiating at a galactic level beyond your understanding and knowing. Understand that we are here always helping you from the stars. The stars are not always what you think they are, as in stars. They are intergalactic ambassadorships helping and assisting the directive that is within the universal code to help humanity regain what was once lost in order for her to shift into the new cycle that you would refer to as Atlantis, Lemurian, and these ancient civilizations that have been gone as you exist and experience it as humans, but nothing is gone. Everything is within the realm of existence, and we refer to the energetics and the total existence of what is beyond the alpha quadrant, but you term as the quantum realm. Oh,
I'm like, yes.
it's not often I channel directly, and especially not publicly.
Look,
but
I could feel them from the moment before we went live. I'm like,
and I know
something's
why they
happen.
wanted me to do it, because
Yeah, okay.
I'm very much, I do it privately within certain groups.
Yep.
But I was very much aware this morning, because obviously it's morning time here in the UK. It was very much, you need to be stepping into this more publicly. And I'm like, okay. And I was a bit resistant, as you could see.
Well, yeah.
But I went with it.
I'm like pushing. I'm like, I went and sat in the quantum. I went and sat in stillness space. I'm like pushing. Come on, you can do this. Like, there's no reason why not. I'm that girl. I'm like, please, come on.
But just with regards to what I just done there as well, you saw the resistance of that from my aspect, and you can see where I am on my path. We might start with it privately, but eventually there is an energetic push for you to do it more publicly.
There is. They'll come straight through the center of your heart. I could feel them coming.
Yeah, I mean,
I could feel the emotion of their love. For you.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
beautiful. Be proud of yourself. That was incredible.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
Absolutely. But I wanted to
The
say
emotion that I could feel between what you were doing, them, what I could feel for myself. It was like the room stood still in time. Yep, it's beautiful. I love that stuff. So that's just so amazing.
Yeah.
You can take a breath now. See, your first outing, aren't you? Such a brave boy.
Well, throughout the whole podcast, it's literally like the energy's just been going like this. So I'm like, right, okay, you're gonna do something that I'm not 100% comfortable with. I feel that energy of that.
Yeah, but they're going, she is. Don't worry about it. She'll hold that space. She is. She'll let it be. I could feel him. I'm like, he's your boy. You're gonna have to tell him. It's not mine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
What I would just say to you, even though I've just shared that, and for whatever reason, my team are just saying, obviously, I've done a quantum activation the other day, privately and publicly. I do have it available, and it's not to sell it. If I send you the link to that, Mirantha, I'll give you permission to obviously share that with your collective free of charge.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to.
And they would have that experience of what it is that I actually do on the quantum activation side of it. So there is like a healing, but there's also an activation. So it's a dual aspect of it.
All right.
So I'll send that to you at some point later today. And then obviously please share that freely.
Yeah, I will. Is it just a link, or is it something you've done? Is it a recording?
It's like a live Zoom reading. So you would go into a meditative state and allow the energy for you to be guided into that quantum realm for your highest good. And it's very much about bringing in everything that you need ready for next year.
Yeah. Well, I can see you moving people, like shifting, pushing them forward, and they're all light. They're beautiful, like a golden light. So they're highly evolved as well. So I would love that. That'll be wonderful. So anytime you want to come and show your wares, you know where I am. If you want to come and do something, you want to do like I'll just push you off the cliff. like, off you go. Just like come and do it. All right. Well, thank you so much for honoring us and allowing us to experience that. To have the guardians come through is a big deal, and it's quite beautiful. So just you being here today will shift people. That's how it works.
Yes, 100%.
Just even speaking your truth and then presenting and showing what's possible and then showing your abilities. The activations will be happening regardless through the whole recording. I want people to know that. It'll be also on the replay. All right. So they will be drawn to whatever they need in that way towards you, which is what it's all about. So anytime you need anything, or you, like I said, you want to show and come out and show more about yourself, please do. That's what people like myself are here for. That's what the platform's for, is to bring people forward. So it's not really it's not an interview podcast per se. It's a bit sneaky, I know, but it's the way for people to shine and to come forward and then show people who they are and then go further. I'm happy to do that. That's what it's all about.
What I would say is, one of my guides just went, it's about people holding their light and shining their light.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So is there any closing words you'd like to give? Probably not. You can go now. See ya. No. Nice to meet you.
I would just say to the wider audience, live or recorded, etc. We are in some tumultuous times, but please just remember, everything is within. And even if it's just a quick couple of deep breaths, just to recalibrate in a moment, to be a little bit more present, just take that time out. And where you think you can't walk away from something energetically, be very much aware that you have that control. And even if it's just the thought, the intention, you just literally go, no, I'm not entertaining that energy. It is very much about you actually doing that at the moment. You don't have to be very centered and all the rest of it. Just start setting the intentions and kind of energetically controlling your environment. If you do that, you'll find the shift that happens more quickly, and you will actually start moving into, your highest timelines, frequencies, etc., going into next year. I feel that that's very much pertinent for a lot of people at the moment.
It has even followed this year, let alone even going till next year. So there's been a lot of change I've witnessed in people. So you are a sovereign soul, and it is your right to look after yourself in that way. Absolutely. That's how I see it. So.
Absolutely.
All right.
I couldn't agree more.
Thank you so much, Jordon. Thank you with all my heart for coming in and trusting me, allowing you to put up with me. She says.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's been great to meet you, actually.
It has. It's been a long time coming. I was actually drawn to you. Well, I knew that you were in with David in Full Embodiment, and then I think I saw something not long after I think you joined, where you were talking about something about Arcturians. I think I saw it in your bio on your page. I didn't know who you were. And because I was connecting, they were coming to do preparations and work on me and stuff like that. When I saw that you were working with them, I think that was the connection from my side as well, where the Arcturians like, there's an Arcturian over here, go and say hello, go and find out who he is and that sort of stuff. I'm not kidding. That came from them. So I'm like, all right. I always do as I'm told, sort of occasion. All right. Yeah. All right, my love. Well, thank you. And thank you to everybody who has joined us and those on the replay. I'm Mirantha O'Rourke. My private group is Divine Heart Allegiance. There's a lot of things on there for free. I do a lot of stuff for free, events, meditations, healings. There'll be a lot more things coming yet that I like to offer for people, because there's a lot of stuff out there we need to be doing to give, because people aren't always able to come and see us privately. We both work privately, of course. Where can they get in touch with you, Jordon, before we go? Your website, etc.?
So JordonRichards.com obviously is my website, but if you just go to my Facebook, Jordon Richards, I have several. So obviously there's Jordon Richards, Phoenix Spiritual Coach, there's Jordon Richards, there's the Evidential Medium, and there's also the Temple of Aurelius. So if you put any of those into Facebook, you will find me. All right. And they do sit in obviously different modalities of what I do. So feel free to connect. Always sharing love and light. And let's actually get the work done, ready for the next 18 months.
Yeah, we got work to
Next
do.
week,
Please, people, come and see people like us. Like, it is time for you to get support. It really is. It's time for people to say, oh, I need help. Don't feel ashamed or don't feel guilty about saying, I need help. Alrighty, that's what it's all about. That's why we're here. All right. So we will say good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. And for those in the replay, thank you for watching. And do share us out, follow, like, etc. And yes, come and see us on our pages. Most of us contactable, Facebook Messenger, of course. Anything you want to know, anything you know about us personally or privately, come and message us is the easiest way. All right, Jordan, we're going to end stream. And much love. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.